All right, I'm back. And redo the network. Had to test the Wi-Fi to see if get things to work. Yeah, like I was saying, body morphing came back. It's great for the men, limited for the women. I think a lot of people are miffed about the new stamina system in WWE2k26. I can't give an honest opinion on it until I get my hands on the game. But after watching some videos of some YouTubers playing it, it looks like there's two different stamina bars. There's stamina for your actual moves and actions that you do, you know, for your attacks, your running, your grapples, your high-risk moves. Yeah, that's going to take up stamina. You know, your yellow, you got a yellow stamina circle for that. And then for your reversals, you have a purple stamina circle for your reversals. And when that fills up, you basically can't reverse anymore. But also watching some videos that look like stamina, like your stamina for your moves and your running seems to go a lot quicker as well. So I think they probably tightened up stamina to stop a lot of spamming. Well, due to the thing there's the ringside pass, and you know, they're trying to get players to play the game more and a lot longer. That's why they introduced the RXP system. They got the little battle pass, the ringside pass. They want people to play all the modes. You know, that's why you only have it the way you can get. You're going to have to play at least like 7 or 8 matches just to unlock a tier in the ringside pass. Now, granted, if you're going through My Rise and if you're going through Showcase, you're probably going to get a lot of more RXP going through those modes and doing exhibitions and doing universe mode and stuff like that. And so I remember one of the biggest complaints of the game was the fact that people get bored and tired of playing the game after 4 to 6 months of playing the game. You know, a lot of people complain that the game just is the same, and so 2K's been with like typical corporate, you know, mindset. You know, they're gonna give you your cake, like the YouTuber Just Brian says, you know, but they're not gonna let you eat it too. You know, there's going to be a cost with them allowing you to, or giving you what you want, and at the same time, you know, putting things in the game to which they can benefit from. They were like, okay, we're going to give you a lot of what you asked for over the years, I might add. You know, they had their little whiteboard of stuff gamers wanted, and basically they're giving us a good chunk of what we wanted. You know, with a little help from AEW Fight Forever, you know, introducing some mechanics that 2K started bringing into their games. So with 2K26, you know, they gave us a lot of stuff, but at the same time, they made the microtransactions higher. I noticed it on the island, which is very much expanded. You know, they have voice acting, no longer the still scenes with the artwork, whatever. It's, you know, actual cut scenes. But there's like a lot of the stuff you unlocked on the island is back behind a paywall again. And then the fact that, like, the new items they put in, they're more expensive. Like, they're going for, like, 12,000 BC. And I played on the island, and depending on how you play and how long you play the game, it's going to take you a while to save up enough BC. Meaning you're going to have to really put in some work in the matches to get, you know, I think your end goal, I think the most VC I got in the match in the island was like, I think almost close to 400. You know, I was like a Hell in a Cell match that I had to wrestle against somebody, and I was going against the computer, going back and forth. I almost lost that match. I had to pull out everything in the book, everything out of my ass to win that match. and I got 400 VC. That's the most amount of VC I got in an island match, playing on the island. So it's like they really want you spending a lot of time with the game. I admit I put a lot of hours in the game, but a lot of chunk of it is simulating matches. I would have to say it's like, if you look at my time playing this game, it's like 70% of the time of those hours spent, hundreds of hours, is me simulating matches. You know, the other 30% is me actually playing the game. I believe it was a symbol. You know, he's I think a father of two. I think he got a day job along with his YouTube job. You know, he got a wife, and he says he don't have 60 to 80 hours a week. He probably maybe got 10 hours a week to play these games, and plus to do added with his content and stuff like that. So he says it's gonna take him a while to unlock all the tiers. He's like, granted, there's like the YouTuber Mike Bryan who unlocked all the tiers due to a way of just reducing a lot of the sliders and choosing CM Punk, and then reducing some of the wrestlers down to like the ratings are hella low, so you can beat you can win matches in like 30 seconds to a minute, using submissions and stuff like that. So said he unlocked all 40 tiers in like 2 or 3 hours. And it's like, you can do that. I admit, when I was younger, my younger days, when there was stuff I wanted, like I used to grind in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to, get enough, to play the arcade or the score. Yeah, the score ranking mode, the score attack mode. To where every time you got the new top score, you would get a lot of points, so you can unlock the rest of the characters. You can unlock more colors, background stages, and stuff like that. And so yeah, when you're young and you got free time, you can grind out for like a day or so. Hold on for a second.
That might have been the final nail. And the cover.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to deal with the phone.
She just will not go away.
I forgot what I was talking about.
A little sizzle before the steak. What a clothesline.
Yeah, basically I was, talking about the ringside pass and how there's a method to where you can lock them, all the stuff within like 2 or 3 hours. But, Symbol said, some other YouTubers say, okay, that's not really fun. They don't want to spend all that time. They want to play the game normally. And it's like, I get it.
Nasty kick.
I probably would feel the same way when it comes to that type of stuff.
Perched up top.
But me, I think with 2K, they're like, well, you can go back and play the older tiers, or if you don't finish, you can still stay on it and go back to the other tiers later. Now, granted, you probably got a year and 8 months before these servers expire, before those tiers go bye-bye. Speaking of servers and tiers, WrestleGifts, he did a video. He is not, I think he is not liking WWE 2K26 based on principle. He's kind of torn because he said this is probably the best, most funnest game he played out of the 2K series so far. He says, sadly, the whole ringside pass experience just soured him from the series as a whole at this point. But he brought up a good point. The point being that since the RXP, you don't earn RXP if you're not signed in online on your console playing WWE 2K26. So his point is, once the servers are gone after a year and 8 months, he states basically the game will kind of be useless because you won't be able to unlock RXP, you won't be able to gain it. And so, especially on the free tier and even the DLC tier, but I know they don't keep the DLC in the stores that long. Once they kill the servers or whatever for that particular game, you can no longer buy the DLC anyway. So you got a year and 8 months to buy DLC with the 2K wrestling games. I noticed that because I tried out I got 2K23 for the PS5. And by the time I got it, 2K25 was coming out. And I couldn't get the DLC. And if you got the PS4 version, you can't transfer over your DLC either. You couldn't transfer your DLC over, to the PS5 version, which kind of sucked. And so his point was, it's like after a year and 8 months, you are not going to be able to unlock any of the stuff in the free tier. And in the previous games like 2K25, how you unlocked a good chunk of the legends and title belts and arenas was through VC. Through playing the game, winning matches, you would get VC. And they got rid of that system. So you're not going to be able to unlock legends, no extra arenas, no extra moves, no persona cards, no nothing after a year and 8 months when they shut the servers for 2K26. So if you buy that game used or even new, you're only going to be able to play like a chunk of the game. Like basically when the servers die, you can't play online, you can't access community creations, you can't play My Faction, you can't play the island, and you cannot do, I think that's it, My Faction, the island, and you can't upload wrestlers and play online. So you're just stuck with an offline experience, and maybe, I'm thinking, they say they got like 400 wrestlers in the game, and I think maybe you got access to maybe 250 wrestlers if you're buying this game after a year and 8 months. Now, if you're getting it for like $20 or less, 25 or less, that's a deal. You can't really complain at that point. But just the fact that you bought the game and you cannot access, you're going to be blocked out a lot of legends, a lot of stuff that you could unlock before. Kind of sucks. It's very anti-consumer. It's a good idea on paper, but you could tell it's corporate because it's not fully thought out. The devs were told to put it into the game, and like most corporations, they will pivot. They say just put it in there, and then we'll pivot whatever, how the gamers and stuff react, down the line. Now, how will they pivot? Based on a lot of stuff I'm hearing online and a lot of stuff I'm seeing in the comments of video guys, I think it's going to be based, because I think the pre-orders right now are good, but, they still got to the holidays. And I think that's where they will do a pivot. It's probably around, I will say, the holidays or near the holidays, summer and early fall is when you might see them pivot as far as the ringside pass. If they notice that there's too many complaints, people dropping the game, or the sales kind of dips, or if enough gamers complain about the game, you know, they might do a pivot, you know, changing how much RXP you earn and things like that. You know, I'm hoping before they shut the servers down, what they should do is put a patch in the game to where if people are coming in late before next year's, next year's game come out, that they just make it to where you gain RXP a lot faster, so you can unlock a lot of the stuff, at least in the free tiers. I would say probably after all their DLC is released, when they get to their season 6 or whatever during the holidays, I think they might pivot and basically make it to where every player can gain RXP a lot faster to unlock at least everything in the free tier from all the seasons. But for now, it is what it is. You know, it's a whole company thing. They got to find some way to keep people playing these games, keep them engaged. But I've been saying this for a while now. I think if I was 2K, this might be a test. It could be a way for them thinking, okay, instead of releasing a yearly release, we'll make a new game like every 2 to 4 years, and just focus on the making it a live service game, which I think might be what they might do with this series. But I don't know, their whole contract with WWE, they probably might have to do a game every year, but the game is going to just be quality of life. You know, fixes, changes, updates, improvements to whatever's in the game, what it is right now. And that's about it. You're not going to see any huge upgrades in graphics or anything like that. Even though they've been scapegoating last gen for the past 2 games, but it's not last gen's fault. It's basically last gen can't run this game no more. The PS4, Xbox One can't run this game because they put so much shit in this game. And they're developing the game on PS5 hardware. That's what they're doing. It's just the PS4 can't run it anymore. It's like last gen was not an issue. It's just they can't run the game. I bought 2K25 on PS4, and it ran it enough to where it was playable, but it didn't run the game that well. It was like frame rate was a hot mess. Some things just didn't work. Yeah, it was. And they were charging like a full price for it. Like, I think the reason was we're giving you a free PS5 upgrade if you get the PS5. But nah, they were charging you like the same price as the PS5 version for the PS4 version. Hey, what's up, Meek? Welcome to the stream. I'll be picking up 2K26 in about 3 days, picking up Friday. GameStop just called me to let me know that, yeah, you got your copy of the game, but you can't pick it up till Friday. I was like, shit, why didn't you just call me like Thursday and say, hey, come pick up your shit tomorrow?
Front face lock applied.
Yeah. What was another improvements? I know they made it to where you can do the draft in universe mode. They have some quality of life improvements to universe mode. More promos, better promos in 2K26. The DLC, as far as like the DLC wrestlers, I think Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys from TNA. Well, yeah, I think it's going to be the TNA version of the Hardy Boys, which is Pastor Prime, Old Man Hardy Boys. It's going to be the DLC, but you're going to have to wait till like season 4 or 5 to get them. And you're probably going to have to pay for the premium ringside, for the premium tier in the ringside pass to get access to those. Kelly made it to DLC. Corey Wilson finally been made it as DLC. We got some AAA wrestlers. We got Demolition. All three members of Demolition as DLC. No, not Woke Matt. Yeah, that gimmick died like I think 2020. It's funny, like people who've been playing this game, like some of the 2K players, they act like the Hardy Boys haven't been in the game in like forever. I'm like, dude, they were in 2K20. They were in 2K20. Yeah, it's not the WCW version of La Parka. It's the modern version of La Parka. It's the tall, skinny La Parka. That's the DLC. They got him. They got the recent version of La Parka. Oh, she just punched her in the cooch. Let's see who they got. I know they got Psycho Clown. They got Mr. Iguana. I don't know if I'm gonna buy DLC. I am tempted. But knowing how these games work, but I think another thing that they did was smart the ringside pass, because usually what I would do, I don't really buy a lot of DLC for the wrestling games. I might get 1 pack or 2 packs, but I would just wait to get the next year's game where the wrestlers from the previous DLC packs will be available as playable wrestlers in the next year's game. Okay, so you like to do AAA La Parka? Okay. So it's like, I think that's what stopped me from getting 1 pack for this game that has New Jack and it has, what's her name, Bull Nakano. Because I watched the 2K26 some gameplay videos, and New Jack and Bull Nakano are in the game as regular, wrestlers in the game. So I'm like, well, shit, I'll just wait. I'll just wait and get 2K26. They'll save me $10 from having them in this game. But like I said in my previous live stream that died due to Wi-Fi, was that, what did I say in my previous live stream? But, yeah, there's some controversy with the ringside pass, because you don't know if those characters will be locked behind a ringside pass. And like I said, you have to play online to gain RXP to unlock tiers. If you're not signed online, you're fucked. People are like, well, your consoles are always online anyway. Why would you be signed online? I said, well, here's the thing. Oh, she won again? I thought the other one would win, but these matches have been pretty close.
Now let's take a look back at these
I think the other one, I think the other Donna B, she's at higher ratings. She also has 95 body durability and that 95 punch. But the other one's been holding her own against her, so I like both. But the thing is, it's like, well, like I said, after a year and 8 months, if you do decide to get WWE 2K26 used or new, when they shut down the servers, well, basically, you can't unlock the unlockables because they're tied to the RXP. And since there's no servers to support the ringside pass, then you can't unlock shit. You're kind of fucked. It's like, so if you're going to get WWE 2K26, you want to get it in that year and 8 month span. Because if you get it after that, you're not going to be able to unlock the unlockables in the free tiers. And even the premium tier, you're not going to get those either. Because like I said, the servers are going to be shut down. Because right now, I think on 2K24 they killed the server, so you can't do My Faction. You can't play online. You can't do community creations. And 2K25 before 2K27 comes out, the servers are gonna die. So it's like your games have a limited time. You're paying all this money And after 2 years, you're going to have access to maybe like 60% of the content.
It certainly wasn't an easy win, but she pulled it off.
It was like before, it was like online was considered a perk in gaming. It was like online play wasn't a requirement to enjoy your game. It was like a perk. I remember when companies were starting to charge, were trying to charge people to play online. And they did it for about a year and a half. You know, it was their way of stopping GameStop from selling their games used. Because GameStop, that's like 70% of their profit is selling used games. Actually, no, it's not 70% of their profit anymore. I would have to say about like 35 to 45% of their profit. Another sizable chunk of their profit is selling TCG, the trading card games like Magic, Pokemon, and sports cards. That is all profit for GameStop. That is all profit, selling sports cards and stuff. All right, let me test out my tag teams. I just made another tag team. I gotta work on their fucking move sets and tag team moves and shit. It's like I'm kind of low key excited about 2K26, even though I know what I'm getting into. I do know what I'm getting into as far as what to expect. I watched a shit ton of YouTube about it like the past week. So I got all the info, what I need about the game, the creation suite. Of course, the online is still shitty. They're going to have to get rollback netcode. That's it. It's like for any combat related game, especially if it's a fighting game, it should be a requirement to have rollback netcode. It should be a default for companies now. It should be a default. It's like 2K has no excuse. They're a $1 billion company. You know, we got Arc Systems Works, which probably makes maybe close to $100 million. Close to $100 million. You know, if a small company can institute rollback netcode into their games, then 2K has no excuse. I think the only problem is 2K knows it's going to cost money to have new servers. I think that's what it is. They don't want to invest the money to really have new servers at this point. You know, their servers are old. Their servers are dated at this point. Same with their basketball. I think they're using almost the same servers for their basketball and their wrestling games at this point. So yeah, I know the online is going to be ass. The only time I get any good matches online, if I'm playing somebody from the same state. As soon as I go out of state or out of country, the game is I'm either going to get kicked out the match, or the match won't even start at all. I'll be in a never-ending loading screen before the match starts. So now I'm giving Fanny Bomb some tag team moves. I got her in a tag team with one other wrestler. But I will definitely be seeing people in 2K26. I'm definitely going to have a live stream party on Friday, probably early in the day. I'm planning on picking up the game probably as soon as GameStop opens. Grab it, come home, probably pick up some food on the way. Pick up some food, pick up some snacks, and load the game onto my console and then start live streaming. And just to cover a lot of the stuff, play some different modes, really deep dive into that, create a wrestler, check out the entrances. I think the only question I have that nobody has answered is like, okay, when you create an entrance, can you still choose what kind of pyro you want to use? Because the one thing that pissed me off, like day one, when I got 2K25, all the pyro worked. I got live stream videos of it working. It's proof it worked. All the pyro worked. All the pyro. And then they had a major patch around early spring, well, late spring, early summer, and a good chunk of the pyro and entrances stopped working. And I know with 2K26, they have it where if you go, when your entrances, you can choose to do a heel animation or a face animation, but you can also trigger your pyro. But from what I heard, if you do it like each time you do it, it gives you a different pyro. And it's like, okay, so what does that mean? You can no longer select what kind of pyro you have. They give you random pyro. Or can you select different types of pyro? Because, yeah, they broke the pyro. It doesn't make any sense how they patch the game. They break shit, and then they don't go back and fix shit. And I know they hear the people reporting it, but they don't fix it. They don't tell you a reason why they couldn't fix it. It's like I keep telling people that this engine can only take so much. It's like they'll sacrifice something they want to put in, and then they'll take something else out to get everything to work. Because I think what it was, while the pyro worked in 2K25, like at launch, but the video Titantrons, where you created like Titantron videos, the Titantron videos didn't work. Like they either animate too fast or you'll get like a black screen. So I'm thinking in their mind, they're like, okay, in order to get these Titantron videos to work, we're going to have it to have where like 70% of the pyro doesn't work. So that's what happens. Is like the engine, especially the Creation Suite engine, it's old tech. It's old. They've been using this. It's like this is the engine from 2K18. They just put a whole bunch of shit on top of it, and they're not a wrestling game developer. The people who created the engine is Ukes. Visual Concepts didn't. They're just putting shit on top of the engine. And like I said, it's like they're going to have to make a decision, going forward to where they're going to have to make a new engine. And if I was them with the new ringside pass, I'll be like, okay, y'all, we are going to take another 2 to 3 years off to make a new engine, to basically craft a new game. But before then, we're just going to treat this like a live service game where we would give you like updates, quality of life fixes, more wrestlers, all this shit until we make a whole new game. That's what I would do if I was 2K at this point, because this engine, it can only take so much. Like I said, it wasn't last gen's problem. Last gen wasn't the blame, because basically they've been porting the PS5 version, probably beginning with 2K25 the last gen, and it showed PS4 couldn't run it. PS4 ran 2K24 and 2K23, especially 2K23 was buttery smooth. 2K24, if you try to do multi-man matches in large arenas, yeah, you will see some screen tearing and some frame rate issues. But outside of that, it ran the game pretty smoothly. But 2K25 was just wow. What did y'all do? All right, where am I going? I gotta go to what's her face? There she is, Jessie Lee. So her moves. I'm gonna just test out some tag team matches. I mean, a lot of people have been complaining about the tag team matches in this game. Now, granted, playing the tag team matches is fun for me, but the AI in tag team matches have never been better, in my opinion. Have never been better, because wrestlers actually do their tag team moves. They do the tag team moves. Now, granted, it can be annoying, like if you're dealing with a team with high loyalty and they know they have a way to, like, one of the biggest gripes with the previous games was tag team matches could go from 30 to 45 minutes on legend difficulty. because the partner would break up the tags, would break up the pins all the time. But I think in 2K24, was it? I think it was 2K24, where they had it to where you can only break up a pin once before partner tag. So basically, if you're wrestling, you're out there, and if you didn't tag your partner, they can break up the pin. And so, but they can't break up the pin again until you tag them into the match. So they kind of broke up the monotony of never ending pin breakups with that whole mechanic, and it was a good addition because now tag team matches are tolerable. They're good to simulate now. They're high octane, and if you boost the loyalty of your members of their tag team, they will do their tag team moves a lot more often. They will also, like, if there's an opponent trying to run at you near the ropes, they will like lean on the ropes and have your opponent fly through the ropes. Or if they get too close to the corner, your teammate will actually punch your opponent in the face and stun them. So it's like tag team wrestling have never been better until until I think last year's game, and got improved a lot in this year's game. What's this one? Springboard assisted white noise. Remember one of my buddies like, man, why you keep buying these games every year? I said, one, it's kind of like a ritual. And two, it's like I get more animations and moves I can use for my creative wrestlers. That's why I keep getting them every year. It's like, what other games? I think that's about it. Any other games I pick up is just random games that interest me. But, I'll pick up if a JRPG looks good, I'll pick up a JRPG. You say that feeling with Ryokai Gotaku? Yep. We know Meek's addiction to those Yakuza series of games. Me got to get his Yakuza fix. Me, I got to get my wrestling fix. I think 2K26 for me, based on where I see the series is going, unless they really bring something with 2K27, like I think right now with how the game is going, with the ringside pass and stuff, it's like I don't know unless they bring story mode to 2K27 or do what I stated, they combine GM mode with universe mode or anything drastic like that. I don't really see any reason to get 2K27. Really? It's like I can see they could probably say, well, we're going to try to come up with a new graphics engine or something like that. But outside of that, I don't really see them really advancing the series no more than it has at this point. It wasn't like through the PS2 and PS3 era, where they changed the game every 2 years, except when it came to when it got to the WWE series, where it went from SmackDown vs. Raw to WWE 12, 13. It was like start with WWE 12, and then they milked that engine from the PS3 360 era up until WWE 17. They milked that engine for like 6 games. Was it 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17? So yeah, they milked that engine for 6 games. And I see that happening with my audio. Could be my Wi-Fi. Yeah, if my audio's being yeah, it could be my Wi-Fi. My audio's being yeah, it could be my Wi-Fi. It's funny because I'm watching my live stream on my phone. I can hear everything I'm saying. So it's either my Wi-Fi or you. It's either my Wi-Fi or your internet. One of the two. Because I'm watching my live stream on my phone. I can hear everything I'm saying pretty clearly. But yeah, I could see I could see 2K milking this engine for probably unless they do something drastic with 2K27, they're gonna be milking this engine for probably the mm, next 4 or 5 games until they have another reboot. Until they have another reboot, but I think 2K27 could be that new reboot. We shall see. With the history of these games, from what I know, let's see. There was SmackDown vs. Raw on the PS2. They kind of introduced a new graphics engine to take advantage of the PS2 power, and it was SmackDown vs. Raw. The first one was okay. It was like they ported like Here Comes the Pain with a new graphics engine, but cut out a lot of the content. If Here Comes the Pain for the new graphics engine to work properly, so they cut out a lot of content. And then with SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 was like, which is a really good game. They got the engine, they got the graphics to work with the stuff. They introduced GM mode, or did they use GM mode in the first one? I forgot. I think it was 2006 they introduced GM mode, like a career mode. And so that really set the standard for the SVR series was 2006. And then since the 360 was coming out, that was probably the first, like, at the time, next gen version of SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. Even though SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 on the PS2 was the exact same game, but the graphics were a lot better. Was on the 360, and it was only available on the 360. You can only get SmackDown vs. Raw as far as that next gen era on the 360. They didn't release it on the PS3. And then 2008 came out. That game was a hot mess. That game was a hot mess. 2009, it was like they were still using the 2006 engine, but they kept making a simplifying kind of like the gameplay because it was during the early like PG era. So they were getting a lot of kids into the product. All right, let me do my tag team. Let's see how this goes. So yeah, SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. It was like they introduced the old controls. You weren't too heavily, using the right analog stick. And then after 2010, they went right back to that damn right analog stick gameplay, and that was the most simplistic, brain dead game to play. I admit, I had a lot of fun with SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, but it was the most brain dead game of the series to play. The reason people like SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 is because of the quote unquote weapon physics, like the what you can do with the weapons, tables, ladders, and how the wrestlers interacted and bounced off of that shit was probably the best the series ever had. But outside of the gameplay was brain dead stupid. It was the AI didn't put up no fight, even if you put it on the hardest difficulty. Yeah, SmackDown vs. 11, I love it, but it was the most brain dead game of the series. Let's see, where are they at? Where's Mafini? There she is. Oh, I don't have it on tag teams. I didn't make tag team custom match? I guess not. All right, there we go. Are you gonna get some food? Are you gonna start the Carlac? Oh, he's addicted to Baldur's Gate 3. All right, man. Do you have fun? Hopefully, you'll let me know if there's any updates as far as you being able to play multiplayer again in Baldur's Gate. Where's she at? I think it's Jesse. What? You think it's the mods we had? It could be the mods. Like I said, they did have a patch where they kind of fucked up some shit with the game concerning mod integration. Yeah, I think the update probably fucked up our game. All right, now I got to put my Skullgirls in there. If the Bomb Squad can hold their own against the Skullgirls, then I did my job. Yep, Emi Hayabusa is my most downloaded wrestler on Community Creations. She's almost up to 2,000 downloads. Her sister Evelyn, almost halfway to that. Oh man, we gotta start all over, man. We gotta do that first area all over again. I wish there was a way you could skip Act One just as an entirety. Just skip Act One. Just skip Act One. But I don't know, playing with you, I realized that there's a lot to do in Act One. There's a lot of game in Act One if you decide to do it. Because I remember I was thinking that Baldur's Gate 3 is actually pretty short. It is pretty short if you don't do all the side shit. But if you do all the side shit, there's quite a bit of game in Baldur's Gate 3.
They're here.
I'm sorry, me. It's like I got to the point I can't play Baldur's Gate 3 without some kind of mods in the game. It's like playing like basic bitch Baldur's Gate. It's fun, but it's also challenging, and it takes forever. Yep, I gotta get these custom Titantron.
The following contest.
Too bad I can't blast my music like I could on the PS4.
All the way to the ring. Jesse.
Actually, I think that mic no longer works.
And Francine Fanny Pombal. The Boom Squad. You are looking at some highly motivated competitors in this match, looking to steal the show and capture the attention.
Actually, I think we got another. Let's see. March, April, May, June, July, August, September. I think we got another 7 or 8 months of this game's life. So if there's anybody in the chat who wants my wrestlers, let me know in the comments. I will upload them. But I don't know. I enjoy 2K25. 2K25 is a really good game. Other than some annoying ass decisions and some glitches on 2K's end.
Look who's here.
There's my girls, the Skull Girls. People love the muscle mommies.
And their opponents, the Soldier Evelyn.
Especially the muscle mommy's got a fat ass.
And the Soldier M.E. Hayabusa. Pretty Mean Sisters. A duo that always delivers when it comes to tag.
All right, Meek. You take care.
Is ready for it.
All right, Meek. You take care. I don't know if I'm going to get that DLC for Mr. Iguana La Parka. I don't know. I might, just to get their moves. It's like I still gotta unlock that shit, which is funny. Even if you buy the DLC, you still gotta grind to unlock the shit you paid for. Have a good night, Meek. Yeah, I can see why people are bitching, moaning. You got those people who get the game, get the rest of the game every year. They get that early access in the 150 downloaded version of the game, and you get all the DLC. You also get the code to where you get the accelerator when you unlock all the extra shit, like all the wrestlers from Showcase and arenas. And then you pay for all that shit, and then you get 2K26, and then you find out, wait, I don't get it right away. You mean I actually gotta play the game? It's like I paid for this shit, not to the point I had to play the game a lot to unlock shit. And you mean I gotta play the game now? It's like, what are the reasons you paid $150 for this shit for? I remember I got into with somebody on somebody's video in the comments about that. It was like, well, what? I was like, well, what'd you pay $150 for to not play the game? Shoot, if I'm paying $76 after tax here in California for a PS5 game, you damn well I'm putting in at least 80 to 100 hours into that game. I want to get my money's worth.
Okay, get loose, have some fun.
I'm getting my money's worth, man.
There's the tag.
It's like I'm not paying all that money for no fucking game, only to pay it for like.
Punch connects.
Ah, who keeps blowing up my phone? Hold on for a second, gotta check my phone. Somebody just blew up my phone. Let's see, I got a fucking shit.
Look at this series of forearms over and over again. All the way to the floor.
That was at 6:51. Okay, look like I gotta run an errand, folks. So I'm gonna have to end this live stream early, which is crazy because I finally got the Wi-Fi to work.
I don't even know what to say about this. Cuts the attack off.
Ugh, the timing.
Better watch your step now. She's getting all sorts of
Yeah, folks, this person needs to get picked up right now. So I'm going to have to end this live stream earlier than I wanted to. I might come back later and start all over again, start another live stream. But for those of you guys who joined me for this one, thanks a lot. Thanks for showing up, Meek. How long was our live stream for? You won't even tell me how long I'm live streaming for. But for those of you guys who stopped by, thanks for stopping by. For those of you guys who will stop by later, thanks for watching. You guys stay safe and God bless. Thanks for watching. You guys stay safe and God bless.